Hello, dear students. Welcome to the session. Why case study? Let's discuss why case studies have appeared in the math board exams. For this, we need to understand a little bit about an international assessment called PISA. We'll discuss about India's participation in this exam and also talk about how PISA exam resulted in case study questions being introduced into your math board exam. So what is the PISA? PISA stands for Program for International Student Assessment. Okay, it's a test which is conducted for schools digitally and mainly looking into 15-year-old students, which means the category to which most of you belong to. It tests the critical abilities, your ability to apply knowledge creatively in novel contexts. That means in new types of questions. I've picked a few key points from the PISA website over here for you. The PISA, okay, is a project of member countries of an organization called OECD. It is conducted every 3 years. It's a triennial assessment. It's designed to assess how well you can apply what you've learned in school into real life contexts. And also, it assesses knowledge in domains such as literacy, which is English, maths, and science. 90 countries have participated in the assessment so far, which, as I mentioned, takes place every 3 years. Let us have a look at some of the type of questions which have appeared in PISA. Okay, so this is one of the shorter questions from math which I found. So this one was based on sailing ships. So there's an interesting context of how engineers are planning to build wind power support for ships by using kite sails. That's what this particular question was about. And so there's a passage over here to read where you need to collect some information about what the questions following this passage would be asking. This is one of the questions which was asked, which was in the objective pattern. The PISA exam has both objective type questions, which is MCQ type questions, and also descriptive type, where you have to write in your answers. This is one of the objective questions, where based on the information you have read, you need to, in that context, think over here, what is the length of the rope of this particular kite sail? Okay, so this is one of the type of questions which came in the exam in 2009. This is another question which was asked in the 2009 exam, where you have a photograph of a farmhouse with a particular roof, which is in the shape of a pyramid. And the actual picture was followed with a mathematical model of the same, where you had representations in the form of geometrical figures for the beams that support the roof, the actual roof, and the edges of the pyramid. There was a question which was asked following this. Okay, it's descriptive in nature, where you had to calculate the area of the floor based on the given information here, and few other set of questions too. Now, let's look into how India did in this particular exam. So, India participated for the first time in PISA exam in 2009. And the expectations were high since Indian students generally do very well in math and in science. So we have produced a lot of very good mathematicians, good scientists, and everyone was expecting India to be somewhere among the top ranks. The results were declared in 2012. The following were some of the headlines that year. Indian students fare poorly in international evaluation test. India ranks 72 in global educational survey. This was overall. And in math, India ranked 73rd out of 74 countries. And there was talk about how our education system was ailing and how it was time for us to come out of the mode where we claim that everything is fine with our education system, the way things are being taught, and it can go on in the same way. There was a huge discussion and debate between government, educators, parents, students with regards to this particular performance. Now, unfortunately, the blame was put into irrelevant questions in the PISA, out of context questions in the test, which are not necessarily true. You just saw the questions. And India did not participate in the next two assessments, which was conducted in 2012 and 2015. Then this came up in the news again. There was talk about why India was refusing to participate. Why was India worried about participating in these exams? There was talk about how our existing assessments, our existing board exam pattern was not according to the current times and how it was not assessing aptitude and competency in the correct way. So India did not participate in 2018 also, maybe because they knew that students were not ready. And then this headline comes up in 2018. CBSE to change class 10, 12 exam paper pattern from 2020. Many of you might not have thought much about it. Okay, it was just another change in exam pattern which is happening, a usual change. But there were serious discussions going on to equip you guys to handle the international stage. Following this, in 2018, India decided to end its PISA boycott and participate in the 2021 exams. But criticism was still there. There was a feeling among many that teaching and examination pattern in India had not changed enough to prepare the students for this task. So, what the CBSE decided was, in 2020, they came out with this idea to increase PISA-based questions in the board exams every year. And that's how the PISA exams resulted in case studies being introduced into your board exams. So let's have a relook at the questions which we saw earlier. The sailing ships question, as I mentioned, appeared in PISA 2009 and was followed with this particular sub-question. Let's take a look at how this question was modified for the 2020 CBSE sample board paper. Yes, that's right. This question was directly based out of your PISA question. And this particular question, the farms-based question with this mathematical model, has come in this year's sample paper. And it was modified as one of the sub-questions for one of the case studies. So, PISA type questions are here to stay, my dear friends. The percentage of PISA type questions is only expected to grow in the coming years, both in the 10th and 12th grade. This year, they have introduced the PISA-based questions in the form of 20% of your paper coming in as case studies. Okay, this is going to increase eventually to a range of 60% of the paper. Let us embrace this change wholeheartedly. Okay, there's nothing to get worried about over here. It is a good path that is being followed. And there is another part to why case studies are there in your exams, which is what exactly does the case study test? And this will be discussed in our next lesson. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.